What's going on, guys? Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Be sure to watch this entire video and let's get right into it. So, talking about RippleNet going forward, I still want you guys to remember this regarding RippleNet Cloud and also the vernacular of saying through one API for all of their RippleNet connections. You guys understand the power of network effects. If you are focusing on XRP at 15 cents, 20 cents, 50 cents, you are not seeing the whole picture. Again, successful investors do not focus on current price. They look at the fundamentals. They look at what is yet to come. And again, it is not gambling because you have a lot more information. Again, that is with knowledge, that is investing. So I'm going to go beyond just Finastra today just a little bit. I want to talk about Fiserv as another massive technology provider. I know many of you have seen them in many documents as well. I want to talk about the importance of them. Keep in mind, with Finastra as well, they have in their RippleNet, they have 48 of the top 50 banks in the world. That is not coincidental by any means, because they also have the option to use XRP. They've specifically said that on-demand liquidity will be an option for their customers. Now, it does not mean that they're going to all use XRP 100% at the same time. But if you understand the overall growth strategy of Ripple, of XRP, as means of liquidity, as XRP liquidity increases, it is literally designed to swallow up all value like a black hole. This is going to be allowing fees to send money to approach near zero. And I'm talking about fees, not the price of XRP. All right. So it becomes exceedingly obvious if you guys do your own research. And just right here, RippleNet could also make it easier for financial institutions to add alternative settlements through on-demand liquidity. Again, just another means of alternative settlement. There's going to be a variety of choices, and the idea is, as XRP becomes more and more liquid, it becomes that go-to choice, all right? Winning on a level playing field. All right, and there's various multiplier effects. It is not just based on ODL. Of course, though, ODL right now will be one of the big drivers. Okay. So I'm going to reference this in the future, so pay close attention. Now, I want to talk about this on Finextra.com. Thal Rathar sharing this. Definite follow if you guys are into Ripple and XRP. And talking about Swift outlining strategy to expand beyond financial messaging. Again, they don't have a choice. They are either going to be disrupted or enabled and replaced altogether. Keep in mind, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, is quoted to say that what we are doing on a daily basis is chipping away at Swift. And this is completely true. Swift, if you guys are aware, they do not have the funding to keep up with unicorn fintechs such as Ripple. So, interbank payment network Swift, remember $5 trillion per day, is to expand beyond pure play financial messaging to offer member banks a range of transaction management services. Interesting, right here, the cooperative is building a new digital platform that will use APIs and cloud technology. Well, what is RippleNet doing with Currency Cloud, who is basically on literally an acquisition spree with multi-currency companies, the biggest payment providers? You guys tell me. Again, it's pretty evident where the space is going in terms of rails and connectivity. Okay, now, remember this, just RippleNet Cloud, just on the website. Again, this is back in May. Now right here, Thal Rathar sharing that Swift gradually transitioning into their new role, moving away from their secure messaging system into a transaction manager for cross-border payments. And yes, I believe this will be automated as well. Notice he hits the nail on the head right here. Make way for Ripple, R3, one of my personal favorites, and XRP. Patience is key, ISO 20022. So we have some sources here. If you guys want to look into the, these overall roadmaps, feel free to. I don't really hold them too strongly, but what I want to talk about is right here. So talking about this whole ISO migration, single standards. Again, this is the same thing that allows RippleNet to be successful, but keep in mind, nothing has been able to compete or replace the pre-funded accounts. So therefore, XRP still has that edge. Notice, including Target 2. RippleNet's integrated with them as well. We have eSmig. Again, Single Market Infrastructure Gateway. I think they have some other providers like Colt. I know we've talked about them before. Euro 1, Bank of England is a RippleNet customer today, no big deal. Notice the real-time gross settlement renewal. Well, who did they choose? Accenture, one of Ripple's first investors, have Ripple Alliance since 2015. Remember, former CFTC chairman is part of Accenture, part of the Digital Dollar Project, is an advisor for Ripple. Their law firm represents Ripple. It just couldn't be any more clear to me. But yeah, I'm sick of waiting, just like you guys, trust me. Okay, so talking about the real-time gross settlement systems, Target 2, tips, all of this that you've probably heard Madam Christine Lagarde review as well. It paints a picture of where this is going. Now, it's not just Colt. Of course, when you see Target 2, you think of Task Group, TAS. Feel free to look up. You can literally go on Google, type in Task Group in Ripple, and compare them. Of course, TAS, funny enough, has a symbol or logo of an owl. And notice that Christine Lagarde has been quoted to say if she, chose to be an animal, she would be an owl. Something about, wisdom and very attentive and listening and seeing all. And remember, words mean things. I don't care if you guys are into conspiracies. Just pay attention to this, all right? Keep an open mind. Anybody that can entertain a thought without fully accepting it is mature and healthy. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to agree with what I say. Sometimes I don't even agree, and I do change my mind from time to time. But I'm just trying to, again, constantly observe all of this data and make an educated decision. At the end of the day, there's going to be an infinite amount of data that we can basically bring in. And at the end of the day, you still have to make a split decision. So that is what I'm doing, just like you guys. All right, now, ISO, source LinkedIn, I already went through this, leading through uncertain times, okay? World Economic Forum, remember, World Economic Forum. I saw King Solomon did a video a couple days ago, maybe yesterday, on Finastra at the World Economic Forum and Ripple. This is not coincidental. For God's sake, even the Central Bank of France has said that their literally CBDCs could actually integrate or be built upon top of the XRP ledger. But yeah, I'm sure XRP is just a scam. It's not a DLT network that could serve to basically innovate and mitigate payments and any sending of value for the future. No way. Some company that's 8 years strong, has ties to the Federal Reserve, an office in DC, has one of the highest valuations of history compared to any private fintech company. But yeah, I'm sure you guys know. All right, right here is Swift, one that works in real time, interacts with its members via APIs rather than traditional messages, and one that stores all the data element from a single transaction. Again, no more waiting for multiple messages, different sheets of paper with different boxes to fill in that are handwritten like today, which is pitiful. It's allowing for distribution to multiple parties at the same time in potentially different structures. Gosh, like it's going to serve to innovate so much more than finance. Again, that is just the tip of this iceberg. All right. Next, remember this, and I'm just referring back to what we know. And when you literally look back with 2020, hindsight, it's so clear. Ripple joins the global ISO standards body. Again, the whole ISO 20022 for cross-border payments. And yes, the firm will be the first member focused on distributed ledger technology. Interesting. All right, remember, Accenture, they don't have their own blockchain network. They're teaming up with the blockchain players. These governments, Bank of England, all of them, they do not innovate, they adopt. And what are they adopting? Ripple technology providers. Interesting. All right, now, Fiserv, again, I was just watching some clips of him chatting here. Ignore that. Now, right here, this is on the clearinghouse.org. Again, for the United States Domestic Payment Systems, RTP, is the real-time payments. This network, we know all of these banks are going to obviously be getting digital wallets. It's not a coincidence. So we have technology providers, ACI, worldwide, again, RippleNet. We have CGI. They have a Ripple Intelligent Gateway, RippleNet. We've talked about Bottom Line. We've talked about Finastra. We already have. We don't need to go into them. FIS, again, we've tied them with, obviously, Fidelity and Ripple are tight. Now, Fiserv right here. It's super evident with Volante. We don't even need to talk about that. If you want to, check out Volpay as just a mere example. Now, Fiserv is one of the technology providers, okay? And this is domestic use case. I just want to show you that the integration and partnerships are there. I'm not saying XRP will be used by the clearinghouse by any means. Again, we need liquidity, and it will be like a black hole when it starts going, okay? So now even here, the Faster Payments Council of the United States, we have, and again, I saw King Solomon, I saw a variety of members show this in the past as well, and I want to reference this. We have Pat here from Ripple, one of the technology providers. It seems that there's only 4 technology providers. Shazam, okay, and I know we just saw them, I believe. Yep, Shazam. Okay, so similar, people as well. The clearinghouse, we got Steve here, Visa, no surprise. Remember, they acquired Earthport. MasterCard, of course, keep an eye on. I saw some big things with BitPay recently. And then, of course, side by side with Pat is Kim Ford of Fiserv, another tech provider. Okay? Now, I was reading a little bit about this. Fiserv unveils new data aggregation solution, All Data Connect. Again, innovation, guys. Information will be distributed as well. It's just a means of protection, so it should be no surprise. And what I wanted to do, let me see here. So right here with Finastra, this is a website. This is finovate.com. I like it because it just summarizes a bunch of information recently. And again, I pay attention to what Finastra is doing as well. So again, Uzbekistan's People's Bank partners with them. We can see also, hey, remember TerraPay, they're RippleNet. Also, they have their currency Luna as well. All right. What else we got? I saw something earlier and I wanted to point it out. I'm trying to remember. That's why it's so fun doing these videos one take. All right. Other fintech financial institution partnerships to note this month. Again, look at, I mean, these people just going through on literally acquisition sprees, partnership sprees, etc. Okay. So definitely do not sleep on these people. Again, right here to offer click switches, account switching technology to its clients. Again, day in and day out. Now I wanted to show you, where was it? Yeah, Currency Cloud right here, guys. So Currency Cloud is one of the biggest groups. So the round of recent news from Finovate. Now Currency Cloud, RippleNet, we can see MasterCard. They're all working hard and tirelessly. Notice almost 600 banks select Fiserv's turnkey service for Zelle. Remember Zelle, you can tie it directly to XLM with, again, Interstellar. All right. Next, already shared that on LinkedIn about the APIs. Next, this document is resurfacing. I know I shared this in the past, so this document is actually from February 2019. Ganesh Hirmath, great page, great person to follow if you guys are into Ripple and XRP as well. Huge news, Indian government report for XRP and distributed ledger technology. Notice they did have a target of end of 2020 for, keep in mind he's referring to something that a gentleman from the DTCC did say, calling it mass enablements, which means basically enabling all of these corridors, all of these payment pairs to launch simultaneously, kind of like a weird, reset button instantly. And again, it would be really interesting. I'm not going to rule it out because I can't be arrogant enough to pretend I know exactly how this is going to play out. Again, a gentleman from the DTCC has said that, their companies and payment providers are working on something called mass enablement. Again, launching all these corridors simultaneously at the same time. Okay, so very interesting. Again, Ann Stewart also correcting this for the community members to realize that notice latest of July 1st, 2020, the Australian Stock Exchange, I believe ASX, switched to blockchain delayed to 2022 now. Just like with ISO always getting delayed, just like Fedwire, a variety of things getting delayed. I think we're used to it, and we know that there's a greater narrative at play as well. So right here, as I've said, February 2019, report of the committee to propose specific actions to be taken in relation to virtual currencies. Now, again, you can just, control F. So right here, talking about DLT, mentioning Ripple. If you guys want to pause it and feel free to read this. Again, Ripple system uses XRP tokens to facilitate the transfer of money between currencies. We get it. Instead of going from, with XRP, obviously you can reduce the allocated liquidity, as it says right here. Fees are eliminated and banks need to allocate less liquidity. What does that mean? Well, instead of the $2 trillion or even $27 trillion sitting in accounts as pre-funded, which I call it as just in case money, this money can now be freed into the economy to get new revenue streams. This is capital efficiency. Now, instead of being, or instead of succumbing to capital costs, what do you think this can do for companies? Imagine releasing trillions of dollars and putting it into something else where you can get a 5%, a 20% return in a year. That is insane. So what do you think that these groups are going to do in the future? Again, talking about DLT, real-time messaging transmission participants. Keep in mind what we're looking at. Swift, it's migrating to almost be that messaging platform, that transaction platform. Again, I think a lot of this will be automated. In with smart contracts, this will basically take care of everything. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens with Flare networks as well and what it means for XRP. Is Codius completely gone? Because essentially Flare, it seems to basically replace it altogether. We thought it was a bad thing that Codius was quiet, or people said it was a dead project. And little do we know, even more bullish news comes up, of course. So I'm not surprised, guys, if you understand the caliber of people that have their money in this game, how much they stand to gain, and how much friction and basically issues and fees and how unfair it is in the world exists. Yeah, there's tons of opportunity. It's not even opportunity. There's actual demand to fix this sooner than later. So I think we are in the right asset class. All right, next, Michael, Val5 Links sharing this. So I know we talked about Alibaba in the previous video. Notice they're on track to supersede US company giant IBM. Remember, we've talked about IBM with Ripple, specifically even with, of course, WorldWire and Stellar, as a single largest holder of blockchain related patents. So just like Bank of America had a high number of blockchain related patents, seems that new study is showing that Alibaba is winning the, essentially almost winning the arms race here. So we'll keep an eye on them. Yeah, I think you guys are well aware of Alibaba. You're watching China, you are watching the Asian Development Bank, and HSBC. And we know, obviously, HSBC's relation to executive chairman of Ripple, Chris Larsen. Okay? Next, we'll finish up with this. So this is a great thread by Mickey B. Fresh, guys. Again, Mr. Fresh Time on Twitter, talking about PayID, Ripple, this whole open payments coalition, what it means for DeFi and Interledger. Again, bridging all of these ecosystems, creating an internet of value, what it means basically for regulations and compliance for KYC, AML, you name it. And what I like most is really just this picture. I just wanted to show you it. If you guys want to follow him and actually check out his YouTube channel, highly recommend doing so. And as we can see, we see all these protocols, all of these layers, and what is at the foundation? Settlement. And again, XRP as that means of settlement. Notice Interledger is messaging, PayID is addressing. We have, Spring initiatives talking about wallets, software development kits, tools, etc. And at the very top is kind of that application layer, what we see, gaming, media, payments. Remember that ODL is only one avenue that XRP is working on. Arguably, yes, it could be the most important for XRP use case, utility, and at least the foundation. But just remember, there's other use cases being built up on top of it. Ripple did not spend hundreds of millions of dollars in investments for Spring, for Coil to do web monetization and streaming of payments. We are not working on the derivatives market valued at $700 trillion. We're working on a variety of things to, get into that market. Remember, this is the internet of value, not the internet of small value. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. As always, I appreciate it and hope you have a good rest of your weekend.